This week, the world is spinning out of control. A McDonald's employee solved a murder mystery, turning in the guy who allegedly executed a healthcare CEO. Jay-Z is now caught up in allegations that sound like they were ripped from a P. Diddy lawsuit spinoff. And UFOs, they're buzzing around the skies like Amazon delivery drones. Honestly, the world feels like it's 5 minutes from falling apart. But don't worry, we're not here to tackle any of those little issues. Nope, we've got bigger fish to fry. Like 49ers linebacker DeAndre Campbell pulling a disappearing act mid-game. Not the offense putting up a whopping 6 points. Not Brock Purdy's worst night since grade school. No, we're going to focus on Campbell walking off the field like he had better plans for the evening. Welcome to the 49 Problems, where if there is greatness, we celebrate it, and if there is a problem, we talk about it.
Yeah, this is Kyle Shanahan. You are now tuning into the 49 Problems, where these two guys try to act like they know more than me. All they do is talk shit. 100% unfiltered, uncut fan reactions. Here to talk about all the drama. And now your hosts, Kyle J. Vigil and Ray J. Garcia. Assholes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 49 Problems. Ray J. Garcia, Kyle J. Vigil. Cortez, the unpaid intern, is finally here. The Step Bros have arrived. This is officially the final episode of 2024. Gentlemen, how are you feeling on this fine Sunday evening? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, what is it? Kaliki Laka?
Bonsai tree?
Something like that. How y'all feeling today? This is the final episode of 49 Problems 2024. This isn't the official finale of the season. Our first season, we got to fucking go all the way to February because of the Super Bowl. We ain't going to have that this year with the 49ers, but I'm going to consider the NFL season the beginning and start of our podcast season, you know?
I mean, we could, because there's going to be a lot of rumors and speculations leading up and going up to the Super Bowl, so we'll have stuff to talk about. It's not like we're just going to be like, all right, we're done playing.
It's going to be fun to react to what else is going on in the NFL as well.
You have some takes you've posted online, possibly, looking at trade value inside our roster, and so I don't know, got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, there'll be a lot to discuss. That's why I said, like, I'm not gonna say this will be the official end of it's the end of the year for us, because I'll be going to Mexico, so this might be my last podcast alive.
Might be the last time in America.
I have to come back illegally. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Cancel this so it gets out of my way. But yeah, I'll be gone for 2 weeks. Ray and I won't be able to react to the Miami game or the Detroit game, which I would have been a lot more sad if the 49ers had won this past Thursday, but we failed terribly against the Rams. This is technically our official recorded reaction, but you and I got to watch that game together. As a fan, deep down inside, like, obviously, like, I had delusional fan hope that we at least make it an entertaining game, but it
was entertaining. It was defensive.
If you're a defensive fan, yeah, which we tend to be, but no touchdown scored. For it being a must-win, like, we know what the standard is every year. The Yorks have put it out there. Shanahan has stated himself that they're a Super Bowl team. So for the fact that this was technically a playoff game that they had to win to keep their playoff hopes alive, regardless of the weather situation, regardless of the fucking roster. So you itchy over here? Are you itchy?
Fucking itchy and scratchy or what?
Yeah. I thought you were allergic to guys.
He's looking at it.
Looking at what? Big cock on your hat?
Yeah, where'd you get the C hat? What's the C stand for?
Chorizo.
Nah, but yeah, so I was telling you.
You can edit that to where when you asked him, he just says chorizo.
He just says chorizo? Say vinegar.
Vinegar. What?
Edit that out too, just to remove the bin. So this last game, right? With every 49ers loss, right? It's full of stupid drama, right? Going into this game, I don't know how aware you are of what was going on with the Niners, but Deebo fucking had the infamous tweet, "I'm not struggling, I'm just not getting the ball." So you and I didn't really get to put our thoughts down on paper. I know we're kind of past the fact. We know what happened now on Thursday. So what are your thoughts, like, on the whole Deebo thing? And I was sarcastic with the intro about DeAndre Campbell, and the reason why I was telling you that, and I'll come back to that question, I should have waited, was because DeAndre Campbell was asked to go back in, right? He hadn't played. So he was mad. Drake Greenlaw came back on.
Well, automatically you don't lose your starting position due to injury. So when you come back, you're automatically starter. Unwritten rule. I don't know.
Unless you're Alex Smith.
But Greenlaw came back, so he got the start. You know, he's in there playing. He played 3 quarters. His knee started feeling funny.
Yeah.
Nothing major, nothing happened. He just said, coming off an injury, you know, when something don't feel right, you're going to take precautions. So,
That was during the fourth quarter, I heard.
yeah, that was the 4th quarter, end of 3rd or something like that. But yeah, so that's what happened.
I think he's like one of like maybe like 5 that I know of off my head, like players to have walked off mid-game. And Antonio Brown's like the most famous one. But I seen a list yesterday. I might have screenshotted it.
Okay, I know Antonio Brown, DeAndre Campbell, Vernon Davis's brother. He retired this game. I don't know the other 2.
Was it like Deontay Davis or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh, man, I had it too, and then I
The linebacker.
just read it too.
So that's 4 that I know.
Yeah, I seen the list. I think Chase Sr. had posted it. He had like all 5 of them on there. It was like a thread on Twitter. But yeah, it's just rare, bro. And it's very like a lot of people, to me, a lot of people were letting it overshadow the fact that the 49ers lost, period. Right. And the offense only scored 6 points, right? Which kind of brings one of the biggest themes of this episode that him will like we'll do with the 49ers side of this is we have a like the expectations for this offense are really high. It's overpaid. We got some of the highest paid players on offense. And we're supposed to have one of the best coaches in the NFL who for 8 years has shown us that he can't play through injury. He can't coach through injury. You know what I mean? So there's two of the highest paid players on our team on offense have been out pretty much the whole year. You know, Christian McCaffrey came back for a little stretch and ultimately got overused, which is Kyle Shanahan's fucking MO at this point. You know what I mean? And it was a play where he could have got hurt he could have got hurt week 1. I mean, he could have got hurt the first week he played. He only played 4 games, you know, and then he was out for the season. Brandon Ayuk, he wasn't really successful. He didn't have no offseason, which is something that Kyle Shanahan has allowed these players to dictate when it comes to these contract extensions. But there was just a lot leading up into this, right? And I'm kind of getting off the point, but DeAndre Campbell left the game in the NFL world, it just took the NFL world by storm. And the 2 things everyone was talking about the most was Deebo Samuel and DeAndre Campbell. And I was telling him like sarcastically, that was like when my intro was like, oh, there's all this other shit we can talk about, but no, we're gonna talk about DeAndre Campbell. Like, because it was just like nobody's seen it, in so long. And it is a controversial thing, but he was a player to me, and I mean you kind of talked about this. I think I might have said like he should have never been on the team, but you have to feel that position, right? And they did their best. If they didn't do it in the draft, they signed 2 linebackers last year that me and you feel like we've seen promise from, D. Winters and Jalen Graham. Jalen Graham's currently on the practice squad. D. Winters has showed some promise this year. Initially, the 49ers tried to sign Michael Kendricks. And they had a deal in place, right? Michael Kendricks wasn't in the locker room with the Niners, so he doesn't know what's going on behind closed doors. And that wasn't a knock on Shanahan. I guess you can't really blame him for it. But maybe there was something there where he was like, hey, I'm not buying into what you guys are selling me. So he backed out of his deal. He signed with Dallas. The Niners ultimately ended up signing this dude, DeAndre Campbell, which I don't know if you remember me saying this at that time, but kind of like, I know he's not a pass rusher, but I looked at it like a Randy Gregory, Chase Young situation. I was like, well, let's just see what he can do. Otherwise, I'm not going to crown him until he does it. And he's ultimately all year, bro. If he pays attention to social media, which from what I've learned, he does, like he's on Twitter a lot, bro. This fool, like 49er fans have been roasting him all year because he's been trash.
We've been asking for him to get cut. I'll see.
So I don't know if that played a part in it.
We've been calling on the podcast, and
yeah, we were saying for him to
we're
get
big
cut.
enough that he hears us, bro. We're almost nationally syndicated.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but I have over 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, and that was just one of the biggest things coming into this game, and that was why I prefaced it like that. We could talk about DeAndre Campbell all day. For us, like diehard 49er fans, he was never a true 49er, and he didn't do anything on for us this season that we could, like, if you're a real 49er fan, like, it wasn't a loss to you. You were just more like,
put it this way,
you were more caught up in the moment. Like
dude could have been a Hall of Fame linebacker from his days with Green Bay. Yeah, bro, he was dope with Green Bay.
I don't know about Hall of Fame.
I mean, what he did on Thursday, I mean, just kind of wiped anything.
Yeah,
That's why I said
yeah,
could have
yeah.
been.
No, yeah, if he had any hopes of
becoming that, that's gone.
He just marked his career like forever. He's gonna be remembered. Yeah,
I mean, because he was good with Green Bay. He was. I mean,
he did. He had his moments. Like maybe like his first 4 or 5 years was a dope ass linebacker. He was probably in like at least top 10 discussions, and he might have even had a Pro Bowl at one point. I'm not sure though. Just kind of spitballing here, but
I had a couple.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so easy to get caught up in that reactionary moment. But for me, he was never a 49er. He was never going to be a long-term 49er. We were all waiting for Dre Greenlaw to come back, and that's who the 49ers should be putting their money into regardless, right? So bring it back. I asked you about the whole Deebo situation. I know you and I kind of touched on it, but we didn't record. So I just kind of want to get like our thoughts on
you know the Niners didn't cut Devondre?
Yeah. You want to highlight or not? You want to elaborate on that?
So from what I heard is instead of cutting him, they wanted him to hurt him in the worst way possible.
Not give him another opportunity.
Not give him another opportunity to go get picked up by another team by being cut, get put on another roster, but they suspended him for the final 3 games, which you don't get paid for being suspended.
And if they keep him on the roster, the Chiefs can't sign him for a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
So so pretty much they're putting the stick. They're you know what I mean. They're giving him the book. They're throwing the book at him, and ultimately after this, as soon as the offseason rolls around, as soon as the Super Bowl ends, he'll be cut. He'll probably be one of the first players to be cut. And at this point, I don't see any other team signing him to an NFL contract after that. You know. But
nah, he's not. I mean, he ain't no fucking Antonio Brown. Like Antonio Brown got re-signed. He ain't that level.
So I was actually curious about that. That happened after he got brought back. That was his final NFL game. The CTE was real with that, like Kodak Black, but in the NFL, you know. You ever heard that dude talk?
Kodak Black?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But so last week, before the Thursday night game, the 49ers defeated the Chicago Bears. We didn't get together for that
drafted
game.
By the Falcons.
Who was?
Campbell.
DeAndre Campbell. Oh yeah, and then he got traded to and the 49ers like dismantled the Chicago Bears at home, right? I mean in Santa Clara in Levi Stadium. And in hindsight, like I made a bunch of jokes going into that game where I was like, oh, because the Chicago Bears had just fired their head coach. And I was like, bro, our head coach sucks so much that he's going to find a way to lose to this, whoever's fucking filling in for this dude. Because usually it's just like, they usually just get someone from their staff to kind of keep the team together for the rest of the season, and then they'll figure out where they want to go with the head coach, right? So I'm like, some way, somehow, our head coach is going to get out-coached by this nobody that we've ever heard of. But they beat shit out of the Bears, right? Which is what they're supposed to do. Defense looked really good. The defense was like something that looked really promising coming out of that game. And one thing him and I both called was that he said that was the last game the 49ers were going to win. I think in my mind, I was like, if they did win it, I felt like they were going to beat the Rams potentially, like big scope. But like once that day came, my thinking was no, we're going to lose to the Rams. I didn't think it was going to be like that, but I thought it was going to be like a missed field goal or some shit.
Actually, Moody was the shining star of this game.
He was the only one. It might be the only one, the last person to score points for the 49ers.
Give him the game ball.
They still got to cut his ass, too.
He just, that game earned him the fucking another season.
Nah, hopefully they cut him, bro. They got to part ways with him. He's just been nothing but fucking inconsistent. And you can't have that with your kicking game. But yeah, so coming off that game, like everybody started riding the 49ers dick again, you know, saying that they're going to go on a run. And if we win this game and that game and these guys lose this game, 49ers can win the division and still make the playoffs, which theoretically,
mathematically, they're saying we still have a day. So you're saying there's a chance.
Playoffs?
It's like with that being said, I believe the Niners are now the most dangerous team in the NFL.
For like playing spoiler?
Have nothing to lose.
But they're not playing no one that's going to the playoffs. Did Arizona win today?
Check them out.
While you're doing that, you want to pull up the trivia question for me? So, Ray, I told you I want to start introducing a new segment called You Don't Know Ball. And so what I did, right, is I just...
You got to let me know the questions first.
No, so he's going to read them to us.
So it sounds like I know it. I mean, like we know what we're talking about.
No, that's the whole thing. So this is what I did, right? This is what I did, right? So hold on. I'm going to Mexico. day alive.
stop bagging now.
It's my last day alive. Here, dude. Cardinals won, so the Cardinals are still alive. So we could technically spoil their playoffs. They're out. They only won like what 5 games this year. Yeah, Buffalo. I think Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo is my Super Bowl pick. We're gonna talk about Super Bowl.
Eagles might have just jumped.
Eagles scraped too. Yeah, Eagles are on fire, bro, and that sucks for me. I don't like that. All right, so real quick, right? So what I did is I got ChatGPT and I said, give me some hard, unknown, rare facts and trivia-based questions about the 49ers for a segment that I want to do for the podcast called You Don't Know Ball. Make it kind of funny. Like, it was a quick little prompt, right?
I'm probably thinking no shit.
So the first one was, and I read the first one just to kind of see the like how the format, how it gave it out, and then I copied it and I sent it to him because I want him to read them to us, right? So the first one I know is about the 49ers. There's a point in time where the 49ers almost moved to LA. Were you aware about that? Okay, so go ahead and read that one in so he gets a feel of the format. But don't read the title. Remember how I was telling you, like, the title's on top? Just read the question.
Question. In 1987, the 49ers almost moved to Los Angeles. What stopped the move from happening?
What stopped it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Eddie DiBartolo.
Yeah.
Good fucking. I mean, so you weren't aware of that at all?
I was not aware. 81.
So you would have been like 6, yeah.
No, I was not aware of it.
But I remember it says something like essentially the fans kind of played. Well, essentially you didn't know it.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, but
you didn't know that the team was.
I didn't know back then when Eddie had it. You know, they're San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Faithful to the Bay. You know what I mean?
Red and gold to be dead and cold.
Go ahead.
Question number 2.
Before becoming the greatest wide receiver of all time, Jerry Rice owns his skills in what?
Unconventional? Damn, that's a tough one. Is it sport related? Like the way he honed his skills?
It's not like
unconventional is throwing me off.
Like,
because then it makes me like think of like
I'm just thinking, you know,
like he was
unconventional.
Oh, like hand-eye coordination.
Had to do something with that. Catching bricks thrown by his father, player to improve his hand-eye coordination. Like that's
hard to call. Yeah, like you would have to know that. You would have had to read that fact somewhere before.
Yeah.
You would have had to been like done a deep dive on Jerry Rice. Which when I start getting more into production shit, I want to start putting shit out like that, like deep dives on players and stuff like that. That'd be pretty dope.
Like a 20 for 20.
Yeah. Do like we'll do a cool. We'll call it 4. Nobody like that? Fuck you guys. No, all right.
Edit that one.
All right. That's good for now. We'll come back to those. There's something cool I thought we could do here and there.
Hit one more.
All right. Give us number 3 then. I think there's like 10 on there, but I'd say we'll do it throughout the pod. You know. Private. He drove me over.
Which Hall of Fame 49er was accidentally drafted due to a miscommunication during the draft?
What year does it say? Is that too easy? Would that give
the
us
answer says it's in the answer.
Bro, dude, I know this.
Hall of Famer. He's already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's the
don't give too much of a hint.
Yeah.
But he has the same name as another player, and the other player got drafted first or something like that.
I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start.
It's not even. It's more of like not even like an accident. It's more of like a trick question. So it's not like.
Yeah.
It's a weird
Read the question again.
Which Hall of Fame 49er was accidentally drafted due to a cut that shit out.
Oh, you're not good at reading out loud.
I don't like to. Out loud.
That's why you're an unpaid.
What the fuck? Which Hall of Fame?
Slow down. Go read that. Slow down. Which Hall of Fame 49er?
Which Hall of Fame 49er was accidentally drafted due to a miscommunication during the draft?
Like draft, NFL draft or Army draft?
NFL.
Accidentally drafted, and he's a Hall of Famer. So essentially, it was somebody that didn't even want to draft, and they ended up drafting him on accident.
No, I remember this. I think I want to say he's a wide receiver.
Yeah, can you give us a position hint? To say what position he played?
Just give us the answer to this.
Is he black or white? No, what's his name? All right, just give us.
Montana.
Oh, accidentally drafted? We might have to fact check that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of like a trick question because it's like
I would have to look into that then.
Like Bill Wallace intentionally had doubts about drafting Montana, but made the call after realizing they might miss out on him.
I've heard
so
that.
How is that an accident?
Yeah, how's that an accident?
That's kind
I
of.
see what you mean. Yeah. Sometimes that might be like ChatGPT.
Yeah,
you gotta
it's like fuck.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's just like not worded correctly. I don't know.
yeah. So I left off. Off of the Chicago game, the big win. Everyone kind of hyping us up, and then Deebo had his huge, controversial tweet. That he's not struggling, he's just not getting the ball, which he got fact checked. I think he has it was like just behind Kittle and Juwan. Like he has the most targets.
I don't think it was behind him. I think he has the most targets this season in his career.
I'm saying like for this season though, he was saying he's not getting the ball.
Yeah,
right?
no.
But he's saying like he's getting the ball more than anybody besides Kittle and Juwan, which makes sense, right? Because Kittle and Juwan were just eating this season. They're the only ones really doing anything. And then, but his percentage was like 30%, like catch rate. Like it was terrible. He came out in this game and going into it, bro. Me and you were everyone started getting his back. They were like, yeah, I feel like Deebo's gonna have a big game. Like, Deebo, if he feels that way, then we're gonna support him. Like, blah blah blah. Like, but again, like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna come out and be like, you know what, fuck Deebo. That's what I want, bro. I can't wait until they let NFL go full 1990s WWF again. And let these fools just talk shit. Like when the coaches are like, you know what? If you feel that way, go ahead and put it out there.
No,
it'll never happen. But remember, after the Super Bowl, Brandon Ayuk, and this is another thing I see people like. I blame Shanahan for a lot of stuff. So this isn't one of the things I put on him. But a lot of people were like, remember when after the Super Bowl, Brandon Ayuk tweeted, "Don't forget what got you there," because he only got 3 targets. They targeted Deebo 11 times, and he only had 3 catches in that game.
Well, that's what I was going to touch on. Is it felt like. I mean, it didn't feel like it. It was Shanahan pushing Deebo early in the game. You know what I mean? Made it a point to go to Deebo.
This game was Super Bowl.
This last game.
Yeah, it was right away.
With the
First target.
With the running game, put him in the backfield as a running back. He's lining up as a running back. The motherfucker don't even average a yard a carry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He was under 2, right? He was under 2 yards per carry or some shit.
Something like that, yeah. In my eyes, Deebo's trash.
Well, you know what's so crazy, bro, is and you can testify to this. You can how would you say? You can back this up. No, you can back this up. We were calling it last year. As soon as we went on that loser streak, we were calling out how it seemed like everybody hopped in on what Deebo was doing as soon as they seen him in the backfield. So this week, I seen a lot of people saying when.
But Deebo's not a running back though. That's the thing. He was a gimmick. That wide back thing, it was something he made up for his gimmick, and they figured out his gimmick. He was never a running back. He was never lined up in the backfield taking handoffs.
Yeah, like the running back aspect of Deebo was never going to be a long term.
He was taking sweeps. You know what I mean? He was getting tosses and stuff like that. He was getting running starts, and that's Deebo's thing. Is he needs a running start to build that speed and build that power.
You know what's crazy too? That was also really beneficial for Garoppolo, and that's why Garoppolo. Have you seen the numbers? I actually screenshotted it. And this one I just checked. I know I have this one. I wanted to show it to you. I saved it for the pod, so I wanted to get your reaction to this. And this isn't a knock on Brock, but this is exactly how Jimmy Garoppolo. This
is a live reaction.
Yeah.
All right. I want to see it.
This is exactly how Garoppolo got that big ass contract, right?
I want to see the live reaction.
So Jimmy Garoppolo, 2019, 3,978 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 69% completion rate, right? Garoppolo, 21, 68% completion percentage. So that was his final year, right? Now Brock, 3,900 yards, so about the same, 18 touchdowns, 11 picks.
That's my live reaction.
He's not even listening.
Let me see
That's the numbers right there. So essentially, Brock's numbers are right next to Garoppolo's now. And in hindsight, we know how we feel about Jimmy, but I also tell people it's not.
I was a fan of Jimmy, bro.
But it's also not like a one-on-one comparison because Brock can do so many more things with his legs, and he is more accurate downfield than I've ever seen Garoppolo be accurate. Except Brock can't play in the fucking weather, and I think that's something that you and I kind of talked about last week when when it came to this whole. They keep talking about the money now, even to today.
Oh yeah, that's the new thing right now.
That's the biggest topic today is the Brock Purdy contract discussion, and it goes back 4 or 5 episodes. Where me and you were kind of like, there's no point in talking about it,
because they said they want to lock him in before it's too late.
And then now he supposedly who was it, Rossini or Pelissaro came out today saying that their insiders are saying that his agents and him are going to request a max deal, which is anywhere between 55 and 60 or something like that. Which I don't like. So okay, so I know like in the coming weeks I'm gonna start seeing. You know how people break down the cap shit.
Well, what they're saying is what the Niners should do is offer him Dak Prescott deal.
Which was what?
I forget what it is.
I thought he was pretty high paid though.
Yeah, but it's only going to be like $30 million a year.
Well, isn't that what Baker got? Like 30 with Tampa?
Something like 30, 32. But it's I think Dak got like 180 or something like that, 220.
Yeah,
something like that. But
so I got the Chase Senior's report. According to Chase Senior, as an organization, the 49ers view Purdy as their franchise quarterback, which I essentially don't have an issue with that. My only concern is that I wish they would make him play out his contract and then do it. You know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna give Shanahan, like, if they're gonna keep him,
the reason they might do it is I'm not sure.
What benefit do the 49ers get out of it? Paying him early.
If he's unrestricted, then he could go anywhere that offers him more money.
And because he's a 7th round pick, he's unrestricted.
Probably. I'm just speculating that's why they're looking to give him this contract.
Okay, so let me so if the 49ers believe in him that much, the threat is that they won't be able to match what another team can pay him. So that means they would absolutely have to gut the team in order to keep Brock Purdy if they don't pay him now. Essentially, that's the way I look at it, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, well then Carolina, you know, a team that's been in the dumps, has all this cap space, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're going to offer Brock Purdy the world. And the Niners are like, well, we're paying Bosa, we're paying Warner.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, just like Jimmy Garoppolo, when he got that contract, it was the fucking largest contract for a quarterback at the time, or second largest or something like that.
I think it was like the largest at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the highest paid offensive player
halfway through the season, it's like the 5th largest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever Brock Purdy gets, it's just going to get taken by somebody else.
Yeah.
Whether it be Jordan Love or you know what I mean? Who's the dude for Sunshine?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. You know, it's just going to be somebody.
So the other part of that was the Niners view Purdy and Kyle Shanahan as the QB head coach duo they want to build around for the foreseeable future, which that's where, like I said, like if they are planning on keeping Shanahan, I feel like they shouldn't just pay him. Like, they should let him play out his rookie contract and then work on that extension on that final year, you know? Yeah. Especially based off of what we've seen, bro. Because I might be riding like the emotional side of it, but the weather games are really starting to be like, dude, this dude can't play in the weather, bro.
It's like I said, if you're playing Russian roulette, then if you're letting him ride out that last season.
Essentially, every year, as an NFL team, you hedge your bets every year. So draft 2 more quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Instead of paying like Sam Darnold to come back.
So rather than draft not 2 linemen, you'd rather draft 2 quarterbacks.
Well, this is the debate I was having with somebody earlier, right? I talked about the whole.
It just comes down to
But not every pick is going to go to the offensive line.
No,
they got 7 draft.
No, I know that, but it comes down to like a.
So they got Brock in the 7th round.
Yeah, but how many quarterbacks got picked up in the 7th round that actually did anything? Tom Brady.
No, I think he was a
6th round. So, but I'm just saying, there's not too many quarterbacks that get picked up that late that are doing what Brock's doing. Brock's still a top 5 quarterback, if not top 3. You know what I mean?
So, honestly, bro, like I think I've come, like I have to say he's not top 5. Like he's at least top, like for sure, like bottom line, like sorry. And he was like hoping for something to happen, and he's all like, "No, man, come on." He's like, "Come on." Nah, at this point, bro, I don't even know. Say max, like even me finding top 5, like I literally off my head, like because I can't not say Mahomes until somebody fucking proves us otherwise, right? And then what I'm seeing with Josh Allen is fucking ridiculous. And then I still say Lamar is obviously better than Brock, so that's 3. Justin Herbert,
but
that's
Lamar
4.
Lamar can't do it.
But he's a better overall, like, you know what I mean?
But at the end of the day, who's going to finish a better quarterback? Whose career is going to be a better career?
Well, right now, Lamar's got like 3 MVPs. Brock doesn't have anything right now. You know what I mean? He's 7th round quarterback that's been on a really good team that's lost a Super Bowl, and he's got hurt in a championship game. Brock doesn't have his hat to really, or have anything to really hang his hat on yet, except having some success in the NFL. But right now he's sitting at 5 career-wise, I think, at least for the last some odd 20 games. Like he's playing mid right now, but he's also showed us that he can have elite level games, which is so that makes him really hard to evaluate as a fan, and not because I'm saying like we can hang our hat on Brock, but what is Brock hanging his hat on when he goes to the negotiation table and
what's mid for you? What do you consider mid?
Me?
Because
mid is
is George Kittle not having a pretty good season? Jawan Jennings not having a good season?
Yeah, but there's also so me and you have been able to technically sit here and watch a lot of these games from beginning to end. And we know there's points and times in this game where if Brock Purdy just made one more play, we would have a different record, right? And then that would put him above mid. That would put him at, this dude's pushing, what we used to call it back in the day, clutch. And he's shown moments of clutchness, but he's also shown that in these big games where it's time to fucking, how do you say it? Fucking nut up.
But, I mean, it comes back to him saying he don't have control of the offense. He got to do what Shanahan.
And that's what makes him so hard to evaluate, bro.
And so
you remove Shanahan. So I heard a lot of people talk about this, right? That brings
getting the coordinator.
Dude, the Yorks finally step in and say what's more important to because the fan base is what really matters, right? They're the ones that bring in the money, and the fans are more attached to Brock than Shanahan at this point. So so that's why I feel like if they do lean in that direction, they might go like technically one more. Did I spit on you?
No.
Oh, I've been doing that all day. I've been spitting on everybody.
And I had an itch. Whoa!
It's time to bring Cortez back into this. Speaking of itch,
Cortez heard spit. He's all never.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people talking about that where the Yorks might extend, like pretty much put like the 1 year, like everyone like a prove it or lose it type to everybody, like this entire team, outside of Brock being like, okay, well Brock benefits from another year of. He gets to prove it as well, and they get to determine what they would pay him. And then if they ultimately decide to move on from Shanahan, like if he can't do it next year, and they give him another year of pretty much giving him what he wants, then they might move on from Shanahan and keep Purdy. And that would give you a chance to evaluate Purdy. Well, now you'd have to pay him to keep him. I don't know, dude. It's so hard to figure out what they're going to do to him. They're going to pay him, huh? They're going to fucking pay him, bro.
However, But again, they're talking about Purdy getting a max contract.
And that's going to affect.
But I've been saying I think Purdy's going to take a team-friendly contract.
But what you see today, though, what thing I sent you, that he's asking for a max contract.
But that's what somebody's saying. Rumor mill, bro. He didn't come out and say that.
But
his agent, you didn't see nothing from his
but
agent.
You're also
you didn't see nothing, Lamborghini or whatever his name is.
Nah, but you're also wait. Well, hold on, let me see, because not that it matters who it came from, but I was curious. It was Pelissero. But he's saying that, he says he doesn't believe Brock will accept an offer that would make him the 10th highest paid. So essentially, he would seek to be anywhere between top 1 and top 9.
In his 3.
We talked about the other day, bro. You gotta consider agents. You gotta consider sports politics. Like, you know what I mean? Like even Daniel Jones got one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and he eventually became a 4th-string quarterback that got cut. And now he's on a playoff team with the Minnesota Vikings, which is fucking crazy to me. And that's why they don't want to. That's why they're not cutting DeAndre Campbell. But Sam Darnold goes down. Daniel Jones might fucking win. All right. Before we talk about where are the Niners, let's do another. You don't know football trivia question number 4.
Make it make sense, bro.
Yeah, can you make it make sense?
That's literally what it's fucking saying, though.
Bro, be smarter than the fucking AI, dude. You're a human being. You have ancestors that survived fucking incredible terrors that you can never understand. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're gonna send you home with home.
You're sitting here on a live podcast and you
got Apple. You got Apple phone?
Yeah. Well,
you're gonna get close and personal with Siri. Go home and talk to Siri tonight.
Yeah, I thought about starting to go bring a new little aspect too. I thought about starting to go Instagram, pop on. They could just kind of be like, "What are you guys talking about?" or whatever, Like,
oh yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool. I thought about doing some shit like that.
You get like a second camera.
Yeah. All right. Question number 4.
Yeah.
I think he has stage fright. We're not live. Like the recording is live, but we're not like actually live. Like,
I know. A lot about, bro.
Bro. And you know, like when well, I don't know if you ever had this problem, but like, you ever just be like a little, like sometimes like when a girl's just like super like pretty or something, and like your face get kind of warm. I feel like that's how you get when you're talking to Ray.
Makes it weird, huh?
I feel like your cheeks are hella warm right now. All right. Well, if you're not gonna read the question, and I'm gonna go on a sidebar before we get back on before we get back on Deebo Samuel. Did you see the bitches that were streaking on in the game?
I was shopping that and I didn't watch it.
No, on Thursday. Like they started reposting hella shit. They reposted the pod, so I found a clip from them, and then I reposted the title on it that says something like, "Oh, at least the fans got to see something positive at night." And then the bros reposted that. And shout out the pod. They're following the pod now. Yeah, and, they're telling me to send them the like clips I find and stuff. They like repost shit. One of them's name was Tucci Cash. But people are still commenting to that clip from Seattle. Seattle, if you look back on it, bro, after the Seattle loss, you and I absolutely knew it was over. Like, if you look at our reaction to that game. You know what I mean? So you just gave up on the question.
You gonna read the fucking question?
Shit.
Well, I went off like on a tangent because I was waiting. But anyways, I was going to say, while you do that, while you prepare yourself to read, I started talking about the bitches that was streaking and that they was following off the pod. So I shouted them out.
Waiting for you to stop talking.
So anyways, thank you for following the podcast. We can use all the help we can get. We're growers, not showers. We've constantly said that on this podcast. You know, Cortez is willing to grow for you. He's down for anything, pretty much. What's the freakiest thing you've done so far? Keep it real.
It ain't read questions.
Hey, now I see why you always date dumbass bitches. Because you can't read for shit.
That's fucked up, honestly.
I don't know about I haven't met the one you're dating now, so I don't like you guys are serious.
I don't.
Oh, okay. But some of the other ones I've met. So earlier during my intro, I touched on the United Healthcare CEO shit. Did you guys catch on that shit? Did you guys pay attention to any of that?
Yeah.
Crazy situation where like first pops off, dude gets assassinated, right? What it looks like. If you look at it right, you're like, God damn, that shit. There's more and more information. I can't remember how long he was on the run, like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
The McDonald's employee.
Yeah. So did you see that the McDonald's dude they shot him? So there was a $60,000 reward for snitch, right? Only 60, bro. That's not, for some people. That's
no, but for the CEO, how much money he had.
Yeah. So that's the crazy shit about it, right? So $60,000 reward, but this dumbass McDonald's, right, called 911 instead of the number on the reward thing. So it's like a loophole, and they're saying they're gonna pay him. I don't know if really paying him, but last I seen, they said that he wasn't gonna get the money. And so it's so funny because this dude, right, like every
entire life.
But so obviously, right, every kid, right, he was gonna set up whatever.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense, right? This dude he was this smart, 3D printed a gun, untraceable gun, just did like some manipulative, like psychological shit. Like he wrote on the bullets, he wrote like a manifesto, like some crazy shit, right? After the run for this long, supposedly that picture of him pulling his mask down, where they finally got a picture of his face, because he was. Did you see that shit, bro? So it's like, well, how smart and how stupid can you be? But I don't know, bro, because I be tripping, right? Because I'm like, well, if you know, like, when it comes to that shit, like, people like that, like, killers like that, they ultimately deep down want to get caught. Like, they want the credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The dude's famous, bro.
Did you see the video of the cops taking him to the...
He's, like, screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
Like, they
slam him.
But I saw people saying, too, like, this is one of the most, like, it's just moving. It's a crazy fucking year. So you talking about Thomas Matthew Crooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. No, they scrubbed everything. They took his phone and deleted everything. But I did find out apparently right before the assassination, he was on Pornhub. Watching Transport. Bro, these are the two most famous people. These are the two most famous people in America, right? And we know more about this dude Luigi Mangione that assassinated the CEO than we'll ever know about that Thomas Matthew Crooks dude that nearly, so I've been working on this. I've been trying to get into this joke. So I'm working on this one about, like, because I'm in this interracial. And
you're in an interracial relationship?
Well, yeah, I'm obviously, my girlfriend's Mexican and I'm black, obviously. Nah, but like with her being Mexican, and me being like, I'm not. Your guys' culture trips me out sometimes, right? Like just shit that I'm not aware of, right?
Like what?
Which is in general, like sometimes she uses like random words, like one day I'm like at Walmart and she's like, "Oh, grab the lotion, the Equate brand." And I'm like looking around, I'm like Equate, and it's Equate. Yeah, you mean Equate? Like shit like that, right? Like it's hella funny to me though, right? But so the premise that I'm working on is you remember Flat Stanley?
Yeah.
You guys remember Flat Stanley? Did I do this one already on the pod?
I don't know who Flat Stanley is.
You know who Flat? Okay, so in school, right? I remember doing this book called Flat Stanley, right? Where this kid he's like he gets shrunken down. I don't know what the fuck, right? But he gets smashed by this book and he gets flat, right? And it's like a project where if you got family or whatever in other parts of the world, you send Flat Stanley there, and they send back their culture, like what they do there, like Flat Stanley visits the world. They send it back, and you do your little project with Flat Stanley, right? So my daughter gets fucking Flat Stanley, and my girl's like, "Oh, I'm gonna send it to Mexico." And I was thinking it would be funny to say the joke would be, Flat Stanley came back with a brand new set of Tijuana teeth, a BBL, and a kilo of cocaine. And not only that, Flat Stanley came back illegally with 10,000 votes for Kamala Harris. You know how they were saying that they were bringing these motherfuckers in illegally to vote for Kamala? Like Fat Stanley is a liberal cuck. I'm sorry to admit it, guys. Nah, but yeah. So Thomas Matthew Crooks, Luigi Mangione, shout out, most famous people in America right now, probably in my book. The Thomas Matthew Crooks thing fucking trips me out to this day, dude. I don't understand. Like I was hearing some shit about how his family just was so nonchalant about it, just the whole fact that this fool tried to assassinate the president, bro. Yeah. How many presidential assassinations has there ever been? Lincoln, JFK, those are the two successful ones, and then there's been attempts Reagan.
There's been some
from back in the day,
yeah,
before media,
yeah,
and I don't know all about the Reagan attempts. There's other attempts, but JFK being one of the most famous ones, right? The whole Thomas Matthew Crooks thing, dude, it's so weird. They cremated his body, they completely scrubbed his whole house, they took everything from his house, his belongings. What the fuck? The fact that he was in that BlackRock commercial. You know what BlackRock is? No. They're one of the biggest fucking.
They're in a commercial?
Yeah, they're one of the biggest. They're an investment corporation.
So was
right?
the other dude, bro.
Who? To do that for the golf?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's another. See what I'm saying? The golf assassination attempt went completely under the radar, bro. Nobody barely even talked about it.
All it was just
yeah. And then this fucking CEO gets murdered for this liberal care company, and I've seen a lot of people talking about
what I was seeing on the media was like he was fucking over a lot of family, just taking money straight up, shit like that.
Well, that's what insurance companies do.
Yeah,
it's their job to stay as possible, right? In my book, probably Man of the Year, but Luigi Mangione is a close number 2, bro, because I even heard some shit where I guess he had an issue himself, a healthcare issue where he needed back surgery and they wouldn't do it or some shit. Yeah, and you know what? I talk about this a lot. I tell people if I ever got cancer.
I don't know enough about that situation to
elaborate.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think it's crazy because we talk about conspiracies a lot, and it's a conspiracy, bro. You know what I mean? Because part of me was seen it. I'm somebody got hired to kill this dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This dude knew something. But then the more you get into it, but imagine if
you think about it, it's the left that are celebrating.
Well, the left is the ones that own the healthcare, though.
Fucking.
You think so?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Occupy Wall Street shit in the BLM. Mm-hmm. Topple the fucking. This is the Joker shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a big ass backstory.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, it's the shit we're saying the whole election. Oh, Trump's going to do this. Trump's going to do that. Trump's going to hold political parties and put them in jail. But they're the ones that turned around and did that. Yeah.
Well, check this out, right? So the ability that, this is a lot of, right, now that I'm getting older, right, it's probably cliche, right? But now I can reflect on, presidential candidates and presidential terms and, what Trump has done. It's actually something to look up to, right? It's admirable, right? He stood up for his country. He's taken a bullet for his country. He's literally been convicted. You know what I mean? He's, wrongfully or rightfully, whatever. So like, however your thoughts are on it, he is a symbol of, of what it means to be an American. At the same time, fucking America, like it's never gonna be. Nobody's ever gonna be 100% happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's never gonna have 100% control. There's still like areas that he's not gonna be able to like root out all of this bullshit, right? Liberals, even his own party, right? There's Republicans that don't like Trump at all, But like again, right? Fucking 2024 year, it was a good step in the right direction for America. Maybe not for the 49ers. And I think we should make for the pod, we should make some hats going into next year. So make 49ers great again hats. Make 49ers football great again. We'll just do it like MAGA style.
Bro, I almost bought a hat today. I seen it. It said San Francisco or 49ers upside down. This was upside down.
Yeah, I seen that one.
I was gonna get it.
Check this out, dude. The other day I was at Burlington, and I seen some sweatpants, right? And they had the San Francisco logo right here, and I was like, oh, these are pretty dope. And I pulled them all the way out, and on the other side it was Chicago Bears, and I was like, the fuck?
Bears?
Yeah, it was the rare Chicago Bears San Francisco 49ers combo. Did we ever play them like in a Super Bowl? No, that's impossible for NFC. Yeah, dude, I could have took a picture of it to show you.
To the bottom.
Actually, I have a picture of Kyle Shanahan with P. Diddy.
Are they gonna kiss?
Kyle Shanahan with P. Diddy. But again, yeah, dude, I just thought that was something really interesting. That whole case. What else? It's gonna be hard to reflect on this whole year. The beginning of this year, the 49ers lost the Super Bowl. It's just a bad year, for us in general. It was a good season last year. This wasn't a good season. It ended with the Super Bowl loss. Who else did we lost? O.J. Simpson this year. Mike Tyson, an embarrassing. Should have never let that old man go out there, but we got to see his ass cheeks, which was really funny.
Like, they even started selling it at Ross.
What, the chaps?
The fucking underwear.
Hey, those are the biggest sellout. You know what else I heard sold out? That jacket that dude used in the murder. Hey, I heard
I've been seeing them more often. I'm like, what the fuck?
The other day I was at I did this little dinner or this little lunch with my coworkers, and they had one of their friends come, and he was one of those dudes that wears like his messages on his t-shirts. And I was like, I don't know exactly what it said, but he was like, yeah, my wife doesn't like it. Like, why do you wear that stuff out like that? But it was like kind of like Trump related, like stuff like that. And I kind of made a joke, and I was like, yeah, these young guys, they're doing this new piercing right here. They're getting a bullet in their ear right here. And he's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, yeah. I was like being sarcastic, and he's like, that's pretty cool. And I was like, yeah. I was like, everyone's doing it.
Thinking about it.
Cause like those people, bro. There's like, don't get me wrong, like yeah, I think now, like I could say, like I am proud of to say where the country's at and where it's going to be going with Trump. But I'm not like there's people that use that shit like 100% for their identity. And
like they just talk about it straight up, like and then you random situations.
Well, there is people that use that as an excuse to be racist, and like there's people that use it to their advantage.
They just say stupid shit, like bringing up politics in the sort of way to like okay.
You know what's funny? You want to know an example? And this isn't a knock on you because you were so young. But remember when you went to Will and Christian?
Yeah.
And you were like, all they do is fucking talk about Trump and promote Trump when you were younger. Well, you were younger, so to you, but back then, right? Like that was how they promoted it.
You know what's crazy? This shit's been happening way back since I was in elementary. Because now that you're bringing that shit up, like I have I had a vivid memory of this one kid just like saying, "I'm trying to win this and that," and that this black like he was saying to a black kid like some little white kid, "What the fuck?" Like I was just there. I don't know why.
And of course, because he wanted to be black, so you're like, "I'm gonna get the black dudes back."
Yeah. But like that's just been going on since.
No, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So back then, that was like the narrative,
Yeah.
And, yeah, I can see that because it's a religious school.
Yeah.
So it's conservative. They would technically have right-leaning politics. But like back then, like even like I wouldn't say you were brainwashed.
Yeah.
But like you see how your mentality, you probably don't even remember because you were so young.
Yeah.
But it came off as they were being racist.
Yeah.
Because that was how it was promoted. From 2016 to 2020, like Trump's whole first term was all about, oh, he's racist. You know what I mean? Like his racist policies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then over time, it kind of proved that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And it was hard to keep promoting that, and so they started latching on to all this new shit. That he's never gonna let go of presidency. But this whole fucking pardon Kodak Black and Lil Wayne and Biden pardoned his son. How do you feel about that?
I feel like he's just so good. Because they were talking about both.
The reason why I ask you is because I had one coworker. I didn't say we got into it, but we had like I think he thought I was gonna disagree with him, and I told him like I disagree with you to a point, right? He was like, "That's the most corrupt thing you could ever do," and I was like, "Yeah, but imagine you're an American citizen and you work your way up to finally being the president of the United States, and your son gets convicted of something. Like, you're not gonna fucking take a full advantage of that shit, bro."
That's what I was gonna
Like,
say.
yeah, fuck Biden, bro. Like, regardless of who it is, like, it could have been any president.
It's shady, but at the same time, anybody's gonna do it. I mean,
yeah, you're not gonna fucking help your kids unless your kid was like
same time,
Jeffrey Epstein. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, Biden is? He's a fucking pedo too.
Yeah.
Fuck that, bro. We should burn both of them at the fucking stake.
That was one of the things he.
That's gonna get our podcast up.
Fucking.
Does he?
Exclusively, I haven't seen him. I don't know.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, cool. So, okay, that just reminded me, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So what I just said right now, they should both burn at the stake, allegedly. I was like, that's gonna get our podcast shut down, but it won't, right? Because we're in America, right? We have freedom of speech, and that's one of the cool things about podcasts, and that's what I love about podcasts. I got so inspired by them, right?
You on my YouTube?
No, he bought Twitter.
No, I heard something looking about buying YouTube too.
Wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, yeah, even on Twitter, because ultimately, right? If Spotify, because we've been doing YouTube. YouTube hasn't given us no issues yet, but we're not that big, so we don't have people that have issues with us yet. Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
I thought you were a shower.
I never said that.
Oh, just the podcast? But yeah, so one of the things that I really liked about Trump most recently that he came out with was where he said, if anybody trying to prosecute or inhibit somebody's free speech, whether they're a senator, a congressman, an elected official, that he said that anyone trying to stop an American's free speech, that he would prosecute them to the fullest extent. And you know what they were trying to stop, bro. They were trying to make it to where you couldn't, if they had it your way, bro. And it's not whether it's right or wrong, but I should be able to tell somebody they're retarded on Instagram or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
not even in like
even if I'm joking, like
yeah.
I should be able to make jokes about race on Twitter. Like, are we or are we not American, right?
Yeah.
And the moment the fucking party started going down that route of censorship, that's when the American Constitution was violated. Yeah. That swung so many people to the Trump side.
Like,
right?
that even went all the way to like video games as well.
Well, yeah, anything, bro.
Yeah,
any form of art. Censorship that's Nazis, that's fucking Russia, fucking Middle East shit. Yeah, that's China. Like, yeah, the moment you start trying to censor us, like, we're gonna that's when we need to really do something.
Yeah.
And the people really spoke up this year, bro. They really, you know what I mean? And that's one of the first, like, and I could, like I said, like, maybe it's because I was young and I didn't pay too much attention, but this is one of the first years in my memory that I could say people really came out in like defense of America. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they try to blame Elon for that shit too. Did you see that? Because he went on Rogan during the day before the election, and he was like saying like if you don't vote for Republican, he's like, you are literally putting America in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know?
To like
this fucking African too.
Who?
Elon.
Yeah, percent
from South Africa.
That's why he can't be president here, right?
Yeah.
He had to be born here. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people saying like, how come Elon isn't a president? Well, he can't. But he has interest in our politics because he has so many business, you know.
Well, I mean, he's an American citizen now, but...
and he's global thinking. He's trying to save the Earth. You know what I mean? Did you know that?
Well, look at Trump's cabinet, bro. Look how diverse it is. You got you gonna read that fucking question?
Question number 4.
You're trying to fucking kick the chair and play footsies with me, bro.
Gonna knock out the computer Trump bought me on his first term, my first stimulus. I shouted him out on his podcast. We wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Before Sourdough Sam, what bizarre mascot did the 49ers use during the early years?
It was a dog.
No.
Yeah, it was like
the golden retriever?
Yeah, it was a dog, right?
It was a seal.
It was a mutt.
It was crazy because I've seen an original the mask as well too, so I remember this.
Oh,
it's crazy.
It's the Indian from the YMCA.
No, it's a sea lion.
It's an animal.
It's like a sea lion or something.
4 legs.
An elephant? No.
The animal with 4 legs.
A
kangaroo.
200 pounds.
A cat.
3 to 200.
2 to 300 or 3 to 200?
You're not talking about a bear.
Bears.
Maybe less 150 to like.
So we're talking about.
Oh, nah, never
49ers.
mind. Bigger than that.
The Moose?
A little bit smaller. But you're getting in the right direction
An
of
elk.
what kind of animal?
Cow?
A mule.
A mule?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
A mule.
Yeah.
Oh, because they would haul the fucking
the mine,
gold
the
and shit.
The miners, they were packing the
Huh.
shit. I can see that. Okay.
Okay. Give me number 5.
Which 49ers legend played during a game that delayed the Beatles' 1966 concert at Candlestick Park?
Being on a legend.
Yeah.
This is all. He said 1966. That's an old one, bro.
Yeah. I don't even think either
Who
of
the
you
fuck
guys were
was
born.
playing?
Huh?
Like, yeah, because the Super Bowl years weren't until later. So 66, like that's
This
when the
would
Niners
this
were
would have been like if you guys were into football, like growing up.
You would have to like have deep
Yeah.
football knowledge for this.
like
one.
just keep touching up like when you were like 13, 14.
I can't even. The oldest 49ers players that popped in my head are all like Clark, Craig, that Montana's team. I don't know anything about that.
I
You
guess-
get close to that. You don't know football. That's the whole point of this segment.
I guess his name was John Brody.
Oh,
Beatles
John
final-
Brody,
His name sounds familiar. Yeah. I think I heard.
wide receiver.
I think his dad. I think he talks about being friends with him a lot.
Receiver one. Maybe, I don't know. John,
Was he a wide receiver? Did it say it? So what was the? It's that he.
no, the Beatles had to wait to go on.
Huh? Oh yeah. The Beatles had to wait to go on. Why didn't the 49ers draft Tom Brady in the 2000s despite him being a life?
No, 2000.
Okay.
Mariucci would have been the coach still, or
No.
no, Mariucci was the coach until what? Wait, read me the question again.
Why didn't the 49ers draft Tom Brady in 2000 despite him being a lifelong fan of the team? I'm gonna say something like along those lines, like trying to give you guys a clue. They chose it. So basically, from what my
They
knowledge,
drafted Alex Smith.
they wanted they
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of. It was 2000. The year.
they picked a player that has never started. So they were trying to get the underdog.
Oh, was this?
Carmon.
We were just talking about that. He's part of the Tom Brady 6. We were just talking about
Carmon.
Yeah, so it was Mariucci. Yeah, I want to do a deep dive on that. I want to start doing some more like sport. But I want to. That's kind of when I get my own little setup. I want to start doing like the YouTube shit, like doing. All right, back to the Niners real quick. Little rapid fire real quick. After the Chicago game or going into the Chicago game, Mike Florio said that there was a potential Kyle Shanahan could be traded to the Bears. Kyle Shanahan stated that he wanted to stay in San Francisco. His family really likes it here. Do you think Shanahan is ultimately staying after this season? Now that we know, beat the Bears, lost to the Rams, 99.9% sure there's not going to be no playoffs. He's had the past 2 games have been really good for Sorensen.
Here's the thing, bro. Like when they asked Shanahan about Sorensen, what Shanahan say?
He likes him.
We love him. He's doing a great job.
That was the one time Shanahan kind of took credit for him, like saying like, "Hey, I'm not."
But when Sorensen's been asked about, hey, what's going on with DeAndre Campbell? Why is he still in there? He's not putting up. DeAndre Campbell had the best game of his career. The best season he's ever had, even though we're seeing that he hasn't. So I think all that's a publicity. Their whole thing in the Niners organization is
they're not. Yeah,
let's sell.
It's like chess. They're playing chess.
Sell. We're together. We're on the same page. We're one big happy.
Well, you know what, too? That's what kind of keeps their jobs, because the moment the organization starts seeing them on media throwing each other under the bus, you know what I mean? When you see Deebo Samuel saying he's not getting the ball, and then he gets the opportunity to get the ball, that's not on just Deebo. That's on Shanahan as well. So,
but if you think about it, Kittle kind of did the same thing, but not like that.
But Kittle did
Kittle
on social media. Kittle said he let the media ask him, "Hey, what were you seeing out there?" And he said, "I was open," because you're gonna see the tape. I don't know why I'm not getting the ball. So that was Kittle's way of saying, "Hey,
no, I get it."
But then what did he do the next week?
Yeah,
he got the ball. He fucking balled out. But the way Deebo did it was diva style, just like his outfits, just like his initial holdout contract. I don't know if you noticed the most recent post I think I did on Instagram, and you can back this up. After Deebo asked for his trade in 2021, I've always said that made me, it kind of soured my views. Sorry, I spit again.
Not on me.
It literally, you dodge that shit like the Matrix. You dodge that shit like Deebo Samuel trying to catch a fucking ball on the rain, bro. So Deebo Samuel also set that culture for everyone else to do that afterward. And that's been the precedent, right? Nick Bosa did it. Jawan Jennings did it. Trent Williams did it. Christian McCaffrey did it. BA did it. You know what I mean? Everyone's been doing it. And the 49ers need to literally stop doing that as well. They need to
do it, bro.
I'm
demand more money next season.
What if they paid the fans? What if they paid the fans? OnlyFans? Shout out Streak Crypto. That's what they were promoting that day. STRK Crypto. I said we should collab. Maybe we should get some sponsors. You know what they're going to do? They're just trying to get people to pump it up, and they're going to do one of those rug pulls. Like Hawktua. Hawktua did that shit. Seen that? You know what that is? So they create this cryptocurrency, and they get a lot of people to invest in it. And then when they get to like, say, okay, you could cash it out for 50.
When it says it shows like the potential, enough people invested in it, so it shows the potential to like 500 million.
You could pull that shit.
They market at 500 million. You just pull out pull
out your shares.
Yeah.
So you might have you might get like a portion of that.
Oh shit.
And then everybody else their shit just drops because the shit, you know what I mean? Like the value just dropped because it's been took all her money out. But that's people. That's America, bro. Just like we talked about.
So they're like making fake accounts, like some shit.
Kind of like a fake. It's a scam. Like she'll probably get. You can get people are getting in trouble for that shit now. So she'll probably get in trouble for it.
So like people will be crazy.
Well, no, what they're saying is she's the face of it, but like ultimately somebody else is gonna go down.
Yeah.
There was other people that got it going. She don't know shit about it.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't.
You're gonna give me $1 million to do this? Okay.
They'll get Steve Wilkes. So fucking just like that's Americans, bro. We're stupid, bro. We talked about the Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, that shit was whack.
Well, the fact that we didn't have to pay extra for it was a blessing because you know how many people would have paid for that shit and would have been so pissed off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So like that's how you know it was kind of like all for show at a certain point.
Real boxing fans were satisfied with the undercard. Great fight. That was another great thing we could talk about for 2024. Because we know the Niners weren't great this year. But what are some good things, real quick, that you liked this year, Ray? This draft was pretty good, bro. This past draft.
Pearson ain't been shit, bro.
Nah, but that was a bad position. They should have never drafted a wide receiver with the first pick, regardless if it was the 31st pick or whatever. Like they said it, they said they considered it a high second, right? Whatever, whatever reasoning they want to put on there. For you to re-sign BA to pretty much a max contract and draft the wide receiver in the first round, like that shit didn't add up to me. I didn't like it. What's up, cousin? I never, just like DeAndre Campbell, I was one of the ones that said I'm not going to crown nobody until they have the opportunity to prove themselves in the NFL and prove themselves wrong. You know what I mean? And right so far, I don't think it's not. I don't think it's that Ricky isn't that good. I think that he is getting the BA routes, and he doesn't have the same like when BA was on the field and running those routes that Ricky's running. Christian was on the field, and so it's easy to clamp in on Ricky. He's not that fast, you know what I mean?
Here's the thing, bro. As a fan, the last 5 games
with no catches,
you ain't even known he's on the field.
Well, they barely target him.
It don't matter. You don't even know he's on the. When he comes out there, it should be like, 49ers first round pick on the field.
Yeah.
They don't talk about him like he's a star like that. Like he's getting these plays and nobody's knowing about it. Regardless of if they're talking about him or not. When we're watching the game, what are we doing? Where's Kittle at? You know what I mean? Where's Deebo at? Where's Jawan's at?
We're not looking for Ricky.
You don't see Ricky.
But so imagine this, right? Imagine everyone was healthy. And Deebo was who he was supposed to be. What was Ricky supposed to do this year anyways? They re-signed Jawan. They re-signed 2 wide receivers and drafted a wide receiver in the first round.
But it's not what he was supposed to do with all the healthy players. It's what he's supposed to do without them. And this is his opportunity. You're supposed to take the best, make the best of your opportunity.
But also, right? So just to kind of, I don't say I'll come 100%.
I'm gonna contradict myself right now too, though.
Probably. But I'm saying not to come 100%. You got something else to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so I might be going in that direction. So going into the Chicago game, I remember seeing a stat that he had 60 targets or 63 targets, and he only had 3 catches going into that game, right? No. I mean, he had ran 63 routes and only had three targets going into Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then to me, right? Okay, so now we know that Kittle, the Kittle's in a bit like kind of lack of production is because he's not. He said it. He's like, I'm not number one in the progressions. I'm not number two. Brock said it. He's like, he's not number one or two in my progressions. Sometimes he's third or fourth. Why? Okay, so Ricky, I think, is literally third or fourth in the progressions. Brock's not getting to him. That's why he's running 60, 70 routes and he's not getting the fucking ball at all because Brock's not getting to him. Because the offensive line sucks and because Brock can't throw down the field that well. Ricky's running BA's routes. He's running, because
Pearsall's on the field.
Deebo's rookie season, like he had his moments, but it wasn't like he wasn't the dominant player on the offense that year. It was mainly all the running backs. Yeah, we could pause real quick. Tell we were fucking.
What?
All right, so we kind of just left off on was it Deebo?
No, Pearsall. What I was saying is Pearsall.
I did kind of just say like what was some of the positive things this year, and then we got into. You said Pearsall wasn't one of them.
Kind of saying how, you were saying.
I don't think he's been put in the situation as well, for his.
That kind of brings it back to what I was talking about is, the first AU's first tiers, we were kind of like, we're not saying Pearsall has the potential right now. We're just, he's not. He's kind of obsolete,
But it's funny, right, that you say that because I see someone breaking it down. They were saying like, okay, so let's say Pearsall continues to be a part of this offense, and then I didn't realize how old he already is. He's already 25. So if they make him play out his contract, gets the 5th-year option, by the time they would have to re-sign him again to a max, he could already be 29 years old. And it was like saying like, dude, the fucking Niners might be fumbling this dude's career already, because he spent so much time in college, and they drafted him at that position first round, and like that comes with you get drafted in the first round, you get paid more, like. So they kind of put that on themselves.
That restricted 5th-year option.
Yeah. So I mean, but again, right? Like
it could be a trade piece.
I feel like you kind of talked about this on I think Thursday when we were just shooting the shit and smoking when we talking about who else would you bring in. And maybe if you were gonna bring in like spend money on a flashy free agent, like obviously if there's a dominant wide receiver out there, you go get him. But other than that, you just stay in house, right? And then you go into next year with a healthy BA, hopefully, if he can come back. You got Jawan, and then you got Ricky, Jacob Cowing, and then maybe you draft somebody,
I mean, I think you cut Deebo. I don't think you have to draft anybody. You got
depth-wise.
You got Ayuk.
I
mean, you got Ayuk. You got Jawan. Those are your 1 and 2. And then you got Cowing and Conley. Pearsall.
Oh, no, there is somebody to draft, and that's actually something I wanted to talk about because I feel like the 49ers have
But wait, you didn't let me finish.
Go ahead.
Cowing.
Most of those guys they probably had to repay versus just drafting 1 or 2. Okay, so let's say this, right? They have 7 draft picks next year. We've kind of talked about what we know the immediate importance is in the trenches. So let's say they spend 3. Let's say they spend at least 1 on offensive line, 1 on defensive line, right? Do they go more than that on those 2 positions? Maybe a defensive tackle and a pass rusher, so you got 2 on the defensive line. They might have more than 7 picks, though. I don't know. They might even have less. I'm not exactly sure because they lost a pick, right? Because of the whole
books.
They overpaid somebody or some shit.
They didn't
cap.
write it. They didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They might only have 6 picks, but I'm just going based off of like everyone has 7 to start. They might have more by the time this. The draft takes place, which we talked about. I want to get into that because I wanted to get that on here. My controversial take. You ain't the only one that said I don't know if I'm ridiculous for saying it, but I think it's a fucking possibility, bro. I think it's a possibility. You never know, dude. And I think somebody like Bill Walsh probably would have done it. Oh, but before we, because I'll get more into that. But where was I going with it? So because I was telling someone this earlier, like you're not going to spend all 7 picks on the trenches, And a lot of it's going to depend on if they can re-sign Greenlaw, which I hope Greenlaw will just do like a 1 year. Hufanga, maybe he'll do a 1 year. Maybe they'll give them a team friendly where they all kind of say, hey, let's do a 1 year, prove it. If they have a good season, then. Okay, where did I leave off?
Friendly contracts, Hufanga and.
Yeah, so like a lot of that, right? Like who they can and can't bring back will dictate, the draft as well, depth wise. But so before I talk more about like who won't be here, because I want to have that discussion, whether it's trades or cuts. But now that we're on the draft, Travis Hunter just got the Heisman, right? And we talked about him being like a two-way player. I've seen a lot of people now are saying with the Heisman, it kind of puts him up to number one. But I've seen a lot of people saying that dude, Alabama, the quarterback, that running back, has good chances. Ashton Gianti, if he goes to the draft to go number one. I think that there's a pass rusher out of Ohio State, Jack Sawyer. There's going to be so many projections for the draft, and we're going to have I'm kind of excited because this is the first time that as 49er fans we've had a real offseason since 2020 or 2019. Well, no, because since 2020 because 2020 essentially just ended really early for us as a fan base. You know what I mean? So we really got to look ahead. You know, in 2021, that was when we got Trey Lance. You know, so there was a lot to look forward to that year. That was a big year. 49ers.
What was there to look forward to with Trey Lance?
Well, dude, there was a lot of hype, bro. And you got to think the 49ers spent.
I've never been into that hype.
Okay, but I'm saying overall, the 49ers spent 3 first-round picks and moved up to get Trey Lance. So this is what I'm saying, right? We lost the Super Bowl and we had a bad season the next year, right? Then the 49ers went and made a big move in the draft. So I was telling people, Travis Hunter has outright said he's a diehard 49ers fan and always wanted to play for the 49ers. So I've seen people said that before the Heisman, I've seen him as low as maybe the 7th, projected to go 7. And you never know. It could just, some people might not want to pick him because they were saying that he might not want to take the whole two-way player shit to the NFL. Okay, cool, right? Some people say he might not be a really good wide receiver, that he's a better corner. But if the 49ers draft him and he wants to play for this team, they might just put him in the best possible situation to be like, hey, do what you do. Here's a package for you to go in at corner at times. Here's a package for you to come in at wide receiver. The dude's numbers are insane on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean?
I think any team
could benefit from that player, right?
Yeah, any team's going to do that.
What do you mean? If they draft him? So that's what I'm saying.
That's going to be any team's kind of.
So, but I'm saying the writing's on the wall. Like the fans want him. He wants to play for the 49ers, but the 49ers would have to move some shit around.
Let's go back to Tom Brady.
What do you mean?
Lifelong 49er fan, grew up in the Bay Area, wanted to play for the 49ers.
What was that question? Question number 6 of you don't know all?
Let's go back to Aaron Rodgers, lifelong 49er fan. You know, so lifelong 49er fan don't necessarily mean we're going to draft him.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
You know what I mean? But
I'm not saying the 49ers are. I'm saying why they should.
You know what I mean? Something about him that.
Yeah.
I just read something that he has fucking
rape allegations.
No, the best fucking.
He's the best.
He's the most talented raw wide receiver ever. That makes sense. Like skill set wise. Like his hands. He's got the best hands. He's got the separation.
I think that's what makes him such a good cornerback too. I've seen his numbers, right? I guess right now, compared to the NFL, he would have the 3rd highest PFF as a wide receiver, and if he was a corner in the NFL, he would have the number 1 PFF as a corner. Just based off, but again, who knows who he's playing talent wise in college? You know what I mean?
College players versus NFL,
and that's why there's a lot of that's going to play a fact. That's why on these projections, people are going to say he's going to drop, he's going to go higher. I'm saying there's the potential there for it could just be wishful fan hope. We talk about that a lot, During this last offseason, we talked about bringing.
I'm not against him coming to us. I'm just saying.
Oh no, there is a lot of people that are though. When I posted it, some fans were like, "Nah, that'll never happen. He's too flashy for the 49ers. We don't need that on the team." You know what I mean? Look at who we got on our team now.
He's not the flashy one. Shador's the flashy one.
Well, the whole team is. That's the thing. They all kind of thrive off of that. You know what I mean?
I just think he's arrogant and cocky, but he's got the right to be. You know what I mean?
Look who their dad is. Primetime Dion.
No, Shador's not.
No, not Travis Hunter, but he still says that's his dad.
But I'm just saying
yeah.
That's it.
I think he calls him.
It's cockiness. It's not flashy. Flashy Shador's the flashy one with the Maybach and the fucking Rolex watches and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But nah, he's a beast, bro. And that's what I was saying. If the 49ers wanted to make because at this rate, bro, I really feel to me, I don't think we would go to the playoffs next year at all with this. They might make some crazy moves that would give me hope by the time it's all said and done. By the time we start season 3 of this podcast and going into next season, maybe they'll make some moves that make me hopeful for a playoff hope. But I don't see us doing anything until 2027 at this rate. You know what I mean? Like we go through 2025, no playoffs. 2026, maybe start competing again in the division.
I think we make playoffs next year.
I don't. I don't think.
I think we're a dominant team again next year.
What makes you say that?
Our young players have proven to be able to play at a high level and to be productive. You know, I think Kittle, we were down on him, but I think he's still got a lot of. You made a comment a couple weeks ago about Kyle Shanahan fumbling his career, and he could have been, you know, better
One of the best.
than Gronkowski, bro. With that being said, if that's true, then he's still got years, at least 3 to 4 more years in him.
No, I agree that.
And he ain't slowed down.
Yeah.
You know, his production hasn't slowed down. I believe when we were talking about getting rid of him, it was more for trade bargaining, for trade value.
Yeah,
or you know what we could, you know.
And then now, like after this season, like you and I said it a couple episodes ago, that he was one of the only 49ers to be standing on business. You know what I mean? Offensive wise, with this high expectation, with this high powered offense. And then now too, like I've come to the realization that if they were going to trade him, they would have had to trade him a year or two ago. That he's not going to get that same value. And that's what led us into that other discussion the other day.
We'll get the value out of him. Somebody might not see the value in him. But
no, I'm saying like he's tradable, but we wouldn't get a first round pick. You know what I mean?
think we would have got one back then either.
Nah, 2 years ago?
Maybe a second round.
Yeah,
maybe a late second round.
It's debatable, but that's what led us into that other discussion. Where it made me, think that if it's like hard nosed business decisions and the Yorks are like, hey, this is it, like to me, the offense is already too expensive. I don't know. So let's do that then. We already know Deebo won't be here. I know we talked about this on Thursday, but we didn't put it on the pod. So we know Deebo, and me and you agreed Deebo and Juice most likely won't be here, right? What about Trent? I know he's supposed to be here. Like, I don't think he can hold out again, right? But do you think he just hangs it up? From what I'm hearing, this fool's still in the scooter. He might have to get surgery. They might just shut him down,
So he held out to get that contract, right?
Yeah, I think it's for 2 more years. He can't hold out again until 2027.
He could hold out, but he ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line is he wanted to get.
I don't consider him a tradable asset at this point either. I think some teams would look at him.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe he could retire and still get his full contract because he got fully guaranteed.
Well, check this out though too, right? Because there's another thing I wanted to say, right? Was why the Kittle discussion. I think maybe last offseason, how you said that at first we kind of looked at him like maybe we don't need him as much, and then now we see how important he is. Like, he's going to be a captain he's going to be a lifelong 49er, rightly so. Eventual Hall of Famer probably. Hopefully the 49ers get him a ring because he deserves it. But availability, health, right? That's been a big factor on his team. So that's what led me to Bosa's not healthy, Trent's not healthy, right? And the trenches, the offensive line, defensive line are two of the biggest factors on your success, and they've been two of the biggest issues for this team year after year. And this team is at its best when the defensive line is at its best, right? So that's why I had that thought, that Bosa was the highest trade value. You know what I mean?
Like you just said, the team is at its best when the defensive line is at its best. Why would you trade away the best piece of that?
But this is what I'm saying, right? I also feel that although Bosa might be the best piece of the defense, this defense, whoever's coaching it, whatever is going on with that defensive line, it's been figured out. Like, it's hit its ceiling essentially, right? And he's proven that, he could get pressures, but he's not getting the sacks like he used to. So unless they bring in a whole new scheme and then he starts thriving in a different way, he's kind of proven last year. So earlier I was going to say this, right? Because you said, you said something that you didn't get hyped about signing somebody based off, I can't remember, just a couple minutes ago we were talking about that. And I was going to say,
Trey Lance.
Yeah. And it wasn't the fact they spent 3 first-round picks. Like that might have played into it, right? But I was kind of hyped to see, because I was over Jimmy, so I was kind of hyped to see what this dude was going to bring to the offense. I thought it was going to evolve into a whole new thing, right?
I'm a Jimmy fan.
And
I was.
No, I was a Jimmy fan until I realized that we weren't going to accomplish the end goal with him. I think it was pretty, once you realize that, you kind of just have to be like, okay, we can move on, And that's what Brock, we've seen Brock get us close. And that's why I feel like it's easier to hold on to Brock, even though he showed us some really terrible shit sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you got to look at it. Like what Brock's doing now, Jimmy did in his 6th, 7th year, 8th year. You know, he got drafted to New England.
Yeah.
Played behind Tom Brady.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years.
So Brock might only get better. Yeah. Is that yeah? And I see where you're going. Yeah, like the ceiling conversation. Nah, yeah, and that's true. Give Brock a better offensive line. Brock has more time. He's going to see those progressions.
And those weather balls, they might improve if he's got time back there.
But last week too, bro, and this is something that you and I kind of went back and forth on, right? There's two things that I really do not like this season, right? That really irritate me. Okay, so you can see it on the aerial cam. Brock's throwing downfield in the rain, and his check down was wide open. That running back, he was the one that was going like this, and he went like this and looked back, like, dude, I'm wide open. If fool had like 15 yards ahead of him, they could have got the first down. They could have kept another drive alive, right?
But then sometimes when you're going through your progression, Patrick might have been the fourth look. But so if you're going through your progression, it's boom, boom.
But you know,
boom,
Brock
boom.
Purdy holds the ball second longest in the NFL.
Yeah.
So what makes a quarterback efficient?
But when you're going through your progression,
okay, but that's the thing, though, right? Okay, if Shanahan tells you go through your progressions, okay, cool, right? But your progressions are 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2. So you're holding the ball over 2.5 seconds. Abandon your progressions. Look for your check down. That makes a quarterback efficient, right? Because your offensive line isn't even holding up for 2.5 seconds half the time with San Francisco. You know what I mean? So he's not supposed to sit there and unless Shanahan's the one telling him like, hey, Pearsall's going to be open, Ricky's going to be open, and then Brock's holding on to the ball.
He's already said that.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
But Brock should take. That's what I want to see. Like that would make me more like, okay, let's pay Brock if he's taking over and finding those check downs like Josh Allen was, or like Matthew Stafford. In the Rams game, it was all behind the line of scrimmage or check downs, pretty much. You know, giving the ball quick to Puka. There was a couple of plays downfield. Don't get me wrong, but Matthew Stafford finished with only like.
I get what you're saying is you want Brock Purdy to take over a game, but at the same time, you're telling him to defy the person who's got control over his contract.
And that's how much. That's why I hate Shanahan, bro. He dictates so much.
If he does that, then Shanahan's gonna say, "Well, this
you ain't the guy.
You don't listen to me. I can't work with you."
Yeah. You know? Remember last year when Willie Snead got cut and he called the Niners out, said they were playing roster politics, and he's like, "It's crazy to me that like you guys know I'm better than other people on this team, and you're gonna let me go because you don't know me."
Well,
pretty much.
There was a couple receivers that did that. A couple people that did that. There was him and there was somebody else.
But I missed the point on what I was going to say was last year we talked about the Bosas wanting to play together. There's fans that want that to happen in LA. You know what I mean? There's fans that want Deebo. You know, there's people there. You know what I mean? People talk about this. Oh, if you guys fire Shanahan, he's going to okay. Yeah. Who fucking cares? Like there's people that want Deebo to play for their team still. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I mean, like, I really feel like if the 49ers wanted to like say, hey, we want to look more long-term, we want to invest in some younger players so we can move some money to Brock, they might have to make that business decision and say, you know what I mean? Like get a first-round pick. Who can you get a first-round pick for on his team? You know what I'm saying? Outside of, I mean, Christian McCaffrey, the injury, who knows if he's going to be 29 years old.
He could get a first-round pick.
You don't think he would? I don't think anybody on the offense would at this point. And the other day you asked me about Brock. Maybe Trent, and that's just based off his pedigree, but his injury history too. Like
that's just based off that being a position of need for every team.
But you're going to spend a first-round pick on someone that's only going to play 13 games a year and might only play one season and retire. Versus you could get a left tackle that you're going to have on your team for 4 years, 5 years with a 5th-year option.
An unproven.
Everything's an unproven until they get an opportunity.
You'll get a proven rental one for that unproven to play behind.
Well, that's. The NFL is a game of development, and that's what that's what we're going to be for the 49er fans, you know what I'm saying, for the next couple of months is watching this team develop, you know what I mean? So that's where we're at now. We're a developmental team now, you know? Yeah, so, I mean, I'm 99.9% sure Bosa's not going anywhere. I just feel like if I was to make a bold prediction, that's it. That's the one that I would see coming out of left field. And everyone would fucking lose their marbles, you know? Because like I said, just as much as we wanted Christian McCaffrey's brother to play for us and we wanted Frank Gore Jr.'s son to play for us, there's other teams that want other players to go play for these teams, you know? And Bosa's one of them. Like, there's fan bases dying for Nick Bosa.
Oh no,
You know what I mean?
For sure, I know that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he would get a first round pick, and probably more than that. He'd probably get a first rounder, a third rounder, and maybe he might even draw another player along with him. You know what I mean?
They'll probably draw first round, maybe 2 first rounds.
And I think that makes it to me like and this is me just being like playing
thing.
Madden,
But
like
here's the thing:
general manager. You know,
if you do that, then you're pretty much saying it's a rebuild.
Yeah,
a retool. It's a rebuild.
But
it's a full-on rebuild.
And one of our like reactionary moments, and I know like when we look back on react, like when we had time to think about it, we're like maybe I kind of overreacted, but we kind of said that this is a rebuild at this point, whether they admit it or not.
Saying it was a rebuild. They're saying it's a retool, which
so I'm saying if they don't make any drastic changes, why are you so confident that they'll make the playoffs next year? Because I feel like our division looks like it's getting a little bit better. Not because of Geno Smith, but if they get a quarterback, if they get another quarterback in Seattle,
our young players
what if they
are proving themselves? They're not showing they got potential. They're proving themselves. They're coming out and proving that they could do it. So next year with this retool, you get rid of Deebo, you get rid of Juszczyk, you bring in maybe fucking Cowing. More reps and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Look at our defense, secondary wise. You know, we got 3 young fucking safeties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hufanga, like, we might have to fucking give him.
You know what's one of the positive things, too? Is it's going to be the first year in a while where they don't have to play extended games.
And I think Hufanga might come back on a team-friendly deal just because
he does,
just because he's been injured and he ain't played a lot, so he ain't got a lot of film.
That works in our benefit. Yeah.
He ain't got a lot of film out there for teams to be. Well, they know he's injury-prone right now.
So
bring them together forever.
The defense should be at least okay. Like regardless, right? I guess I have to say Bosa because that's what it is. He's a captain. Then it's Warner captain. Greenlaw needs to be a captain. Hufanga should like I don't know how many captains. I think last year they had 8, or this year they had 8. Might have been 7. Hufanga and Lenore, like Lenore, Hufanga, Greenlaw, Warner. You know what I mean? And then Bosa, like that's your core defense. And then like you said, you got those young guys, Renardo Green. That was a positive that I wanted to talk about coming out of the draft this year. Malik Mustafa, another rookie coming out of the draft. And I know some people have been kind of shitting on Jair Brown, saying that we need to look for someone to kind of bring in and help out there. But he's on a rookie contract still, so he's probably not going to go anywhere unless they find a better fit. But we need the depth. So yeah, there's a lot of bright. It's the defensive line that needs the most help. Javon Argay might not be here. They restructured his contract.
We're gonna need a DB. Moody Ward's gonna probably be gone.
Travis Hunter, baby, need that. I want that, bro.
Travis Hunter is gonna be an offensive player.
Yeah, he won't play all snaps on defense, but
that's who's gonna replace Deebo.
That'd be fucking. That's what I'm saying. Cut Deebo and bring Travis Hunter. This fan base would go crazy, bro. Even if you don't do that well right away, but yeah, Isaac Guerrero, offensively, that was a huge positive this year. Something that we have to highlight. Jordan Mason was one up until he got hurt. Kyle Shanahan, notorious for getting quarterbacks and running backs hurt every fucking year. You know how they say, what is it? Only 2 things are certain in life, death and taxes. And Kyle Shanahan fucking getting quarterbacks and running backs injured. So are you going to finish those trivia questions for us? Another positive was DeAndre Campbell never going to play for the 49ers again.
Never going to play probably football again.
Never going to play football again. Hopefully, maybe even Deebo Samuel. He might have finally ate his way out of the NFL with his gay-ass outfits. Fucking, and I'm tired of how I said it. I remember being like, dude, why did they do the boombox thing after 3 straight? That should have understood that. And I think Deebo, I don't knock. Like, I mean, obviously everybody has their pregame rituals, and that one became tradition. A lot of people liked it. It's like good content and stuff.
It's the Bay. That's the Bay style.
But that wasn't always. They didn't always have that. You know,
they didn't always have it. I'm just saying it's the Bay. That's the Bay style. Playing music, dancing.
Yeah.
So.
You think so? I was gonna say George Kittle, but it's not a bad. You ready? You got it?
Yeah. He was a fucking.
I mean, yeah. Up until he fucking got benched for Christian McCaffrey.
He was a top 5 running. Yeah. Top 3.
But that's another sin. Knock on Kyle Shanahan, bro. If we'll put fucking Jordan Mason on the milk carton for no reason, and he might not even be here next year, bro.
Not take that back, bro. Jake Moody.
Why are you? It's supposed to be a serious proportion. And it was controversial from the start. We have to highlight that. That's another thing about 2024. Week 1, he says, I knew I was going to play since Friday. And then that became controversial because, Niners didn't tell the NFL Christian McCaffrey was hurt until right before the game. And then supposedly he got scolded by Kyle Shanahan and he came out with tears in his eyes, blah, blah, blah. Hey, NFL players are sensitive too. Question number 7 or 6?
Yeah, 7.
Shoot it from the hip.
Are you high? Or how high are you? Yeah.
He didn't even smoke it.
I know.
What?
He's natural. Did you see that? I was supposed to fucking with the power.
The 49ers once lost the rights to the number 1 draft pick in 1979 due to a coin toss. Which player did they miss out on?
In what year?
1979. I'll give you kind of the answer, like not the name, but there's a little description to it. It says, though they probably avoided drama in hindsight. So what player could have led drama to that draft pick?
O.J. Simpson. He ended up getting him later. The kid play for
The only reason I didn't say, I was going to say OJ, but I did play for.
This goes back to the 49ers. Why he always, is that why he ended up coming back to them? They don't draft. We don't draft for.
So you can't be a fan of football if you're trying to be a football player?
No, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. 49ers, it just seems like they never draft the players that want to play for them. What was that, number 7 or 8?
7.
No, 7. So you want to do number 8 real quick?
During the 1994 game, the 49ers scored so often against the Falcons that
Say it again.
What funny complaint did a referee make to Steve Young?
Say it again. Start the.
During the 1994 game, the 49ers scored so often against the Falcons that what funny complaint did a referee make to Steve Young?
To stop scoring.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like
to
general.
slow down.
That's like a general, that's too general.
Yeah.
Generalized. That was it? What was the answer? Read it out.
Yeah. The ref jokingly told Young to slow down because he was getting tired from raising his arms after so many touchdowns.
Change what I said, bro.
Hey.
I have the original audio saying 4 and 13.
Oh, I had a Mandela effect recently I wanted to talk about.
You were watching porn and it actually happened?
No, what the fuck? Which one was it? Man, I can't think of it now. But I remember.
Berenstain or Berenstein?
No, that one's. It was kind of recent.
What do you mean Mandela effect? What was that?
You don't know what that is?
Deja vu,
Oh,
well,
I've had deja vu.
But it say that bucket right there says Harbor Freight on it, and you remember saying Harbor Freight HARBOR, right? But you see another one that says Harbor HARBER. You're like, wait a minute, it's OR.
Yeah.
But everything you see is ER. So you're like, is my mind fucking with me, or did it really hit the OR? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then people say that when what's that fucking CERN, that collider, the Hadron Collider or whatever, when they turned that shit on in 2012.
What was that?
Well, supposedly there was fear that it was gonna fucking create a black hole.
Yeah,
right.
That
so they said that when they turned that shit on, we entered a new reality.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, more and more Mandela effects.
It made us cross into
a new dimension or some shit.
A multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
We crossed into
fuck you. And there's one version of me but my thick's 5 inches.
It's this one. And I had one too that I'll probably remember it after the pod. Did I ever talk about? Someone wanted to talk about. This is more relevant, but remind me if you guys wanted to talk about the shadow people. Did we talk about this before?
I think me and you did. Yeah. That's just a trip, bro.
Talk about this, bro.
No.
So I want you to think about that real quick.
We talked about Dylan and Damien.
No, Dylan and Dixon.
Oh yeah, Dylan and Dixon.
There's other weird kind of theory on my own. You ever
I've seen video about shadow people, bro.
Have you?
Videos.
Over here.
You ever move in your laundry and just randomly you notice you're missing a sock?
It's come sock.
So the fucking duendes get him, bro.
Fuck you. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what is
let's say you just showered, right? Or you're taking your clothes to the bathroom so you can shower. You're looking at your clothes and you're missing a sock.
So what do you think? It went to
it just drops. How?
Hello Universe.
You don't see it. You don't.
And just the back rooms.
You don't recognize it drop.
Yeah.
No, but you go back to where you walked and it's there.
Kind of reminds me of you ever had that feeling when you're by yourself and
you've been watching?
No, you have a reaction to something and so you'll I guess a reaction you don't realize it, but even though nobody's there, you kind of talk to yourself and you'll say something like to yourself, and then afterward you're like, did I just say that out loud? You can't remember if you actually said it out loud or if you thought it.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to you? Yeah, that's a weird feeling. Yeah. I think that's what that is though. It's you think you grabbed 2 socks, but you probably only grabbed one. The video you see on the shadow people, what was it like?
climbing up the side of a building, bro. Like just,
I think I've seen that one.
like a spider type thing or
Some
something.
weird looking shit.
Yeah, but it was just a shadow, and people were like,
Yeah.
like in Russia or something, and they're talking Russian or something like that. And you just see it climbing up the side of a building.
Check. So I started like, so I was talking to him about it. Yeah, you reminded me. Me and him were talking about it not too long ago, right? And then it's like now that I have my son and stuff, right? And he's getting a little bit older. I started thinking about like when I was a kid, right? And I was like, one day I was thinking about, man, remember when I was a kid? I remember I used to fucking see shit all the time, right? Like out of the corner of my eye. I wouldn't say I remember hearing it. So like I remember like I'd be sitting down, like looking at the TV or whatever, right? And then like I would literally see something like cross the hallway, like go to the other room, and then I would look, and there was nothing there. And I would always tell my grandma, and like, because I remember like, especially like after like, because I used to pee the bed a lot, or I didn't want to go in the bathroom by myself, right? And I'm like, because it was in the hallway, and I'm like, Grandma, I gotta go to the bathroom. And she would get so mad at me, like 5, 6 years old,
like 12.
No, like 5, 6 years old. Still couldn't fucking piss by myself, right? No, so I was like 5, 6 years old, and I remember vividly being like, I can't go back there by myself because they want me to go back there. And I remember like if I barely like focus, like I would try to trick them, like try to catch them, right? And then like as soon as I would look, they would always disappear. But I remember like out of the corner of my eye, I would get like the motion, like if they were going like this, like that, you know? And I would try to look out of the corner of my eye, then they would disappear. Tall ones, little ones. And just like that video, because it's the same one I'm talking about. Like I don't know if it's an edited video, like if it's real or not. But that's like what I like, similar, right? Fast movements, like creepy, like crawly looking movements, weird shit, right? Talk to him about it. He says similar experience, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like that shit.
So I started looking it up. There's people all over the world that said they've seen this around like the same ages. Some people say they see it as adults. Some people say they've seen it when they're under the influence. They see them during sleep paralysis, and like they call it in the Indian culture, they call it the jinns, the shadow people. And yeah, it's just something so crazy to me, right? And like now that my son's getting older, I'm like tripping out. I'm like, these motherfuckers better not come back. Well, like Hindu, like Indians.
Yeah,
yeah. They call them the jinns. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
That's Muslim. Yeah, I don't know. That's just something I've been tripping out on.
But weren't they the most natives? Aren't technically they the most natives?
Well, to their country?
No, to in generality, no.
What you mean, like to the earth?
No.
Well, the blacks. Well, some people say the Chinese.
I think it might be the Chinese. Because they're the ones that like take
so speaking of this alien shit, right? So they've had all these UFO fucking Senate hearings, right? And I've been checking in on them right here and there. Like obviously they've been coming out with bombshell after bombshell, right? And everyone's just like ignores it, right? But so have you guys seen how this news it keeps talking about this shit now? How like I see a lot of people saying like, you know what this shit feels like? It feels like COVID, bro. Where the news is like trying to make us be like, check this out, pay attention to this. When has the news
start going through like a world outbreak, like freaking out?
And they're sending reporters out there, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, and like, bro, I look at the news in a whole new light because it all seems so fake to me. And I'm watching this reporter out there. He's like, I've never seen anything like this before. And they're showing high def videos, right? Yeah. And to me, I'm like, it just looks like a regular drone. But it's the fact that the government, everyone's saying, like, why is the government being so weird?
They're saying that they're fucking moving.
Like, you know what I mean?
But
like,
I think they've tried, and they're saying what they're saying is
they're too fast or something.
Too fast, yeah. It's beyond our technology.
It's just so crazy that this is happening at the same time that they're doing all these hearings. You know?
What I did see some, because they said it was Iran put a mothership drone out there.
Yeah, like scanning our shit.
Like in the hurricane or something.
They said that they went over some like highly intelligent like shit from the. Like they
might
said,
be China or Russia. They just don't want to come out and say it because if they say it, then it's considered an act of war, and we would be going to war.
Yeah.
So they're trying to downplay it right now, but what the word is that it's another country that's trying to spy on us. They're going over.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying.
Our Air Force bases and shit like that. A bunch of Chinese people got caught trying to fucking flying drones, like personal drones.
Yeah.
Over military bases and shit, and then trying to get on planes with one-way tickets. Hella people got caught. Hella Chinese people been getting caught. So I think it's got something to do with trying to start war, bro.
I don't know if it's war or if it's just the government themselves. But they're all over. Because at first they were trying to say they were just in New Jersey, and then they just had some in Sacramento, and then there was some in
I seen them in Sac. I seen that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos of them here, right out here, and I think they were like out there, like in downtown. Some people were showing fucking videos of them in downtown.
Right on.
Yeah. There's some in like Oregon, Seattle.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere now. That's what
Now
I'm saying. So
without
like,
consent, though.
and like, so like,
Oh yeah, they're coast to coast.
yeah, and so like, and then, but it's so weird. Okay, so like, one of the things I remember hearing was that the government is going to make us believe that an alien invasion is going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people point at this, right? This government just fucking trying to trick us, right? Blah, blah. But so one of the things that with all these Senate hearings that are going up, I was talking to my girl about it, and she was like, that this, because that dude came out and said that we have multiple vehicles. He's like, there is biological entities, blah, 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 right? And it's like, okay. And everyone's just like, all right, whatever. Like, because then the guy gets like, well, I can't tell you everything, blah, 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 right? He's like, I can only tell you this. So technically he didn't back it up. He's just saying that we have it, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we've all thought forever. So my girl was like, well, how come they just don't come out and tell us? And I was like, well, the reason why, for number one, right? It's religion, right? Religion, that's the Catholic Church, like owns and fucking controls more than most of the governments, right?
Yeah.
The government, yeah, like you think about like the government, like the American government, like has the American people, they don't have to worry about. The Catholic Church has people all over the fucking world, on every country. You know what I mean? So if they were like, oh, aliens are real and they're taking over the world, like fucking there goes religion, bro. Like everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing with these motherfuckers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it could be like a lot of people say it's the religion that's the religious people trying to keep it under wraps because they don't want people to freak out. Again, right? If the asteroid was coming, they're not going to tell us because then everyone's going to stop going to work and then.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting theories that I've always heard, right, is people say, you know, like that if God is real, maybe God was an alien, right?
Yeah.
God, we were made in the image of God. Now, have you ever heard the theory that you might have even showed me this or put me on this in this direction? I got watching some videos on this shit. I remember hearing this guy say just multiple alien species that seeded Earth, right?
Yeah.
And that's why there's so many different races. But like that we can interbreed or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that technically there was like a black alien, that there was an Asian alien, that there was a fucking white, like or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like I start thinking about it, I'm like, it kind of fucking makes sense. It all kind of makes sense, right? Like why people are so fucking different and like why you can't pinpoint it. Because like when you go to like civilization, like the like it all starts with like Sumeria or whatever, right?
Yeah, like the underwater.
And then it was like these weird jumps, right? Where out of nowhere fucking like China has like this huge civilization, and then over here fucking in Mexico there's this huge civilization. Diddy pause and assassination. Jay-Z finally gets accused of fucking
Partying with Diddy.
Yeah, he got trapped up with Diddy.
Oh, bro, I was fucking around.
No, bro, you didn't know that? Yeah, he got accused this week. Yeah, like I said, dude, on my opening, it wasn't just aliens. It was Jay-Z. Jay-Z got accused of like a 13-year-old or some shit.
Yeah, him and Diddy.
Some podcaster got accused too, like partying with P. Diddy. I forgot what it was.
Oh, like a famous one?
Yeah, like a known one, I guess. Like he was some older dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was black. I don't know. I forgot his name.
It's crazy, bro. But that was one of those ones I think everybody's seen coming. It's the
one
thing
Bad Bunny did.
Oh, I don't doubt it. That's what I like to. That's the shit I like to speculate on. The one that I'm most like for sure is Eminem, bro.
Yeah,
100%.
But that fool,
he's a straight cuck now.
Yeah,
he did 100% flip. Like growing up, bro. Like
I think what song it was. I was like kind of like, what the fuck is this? Like Kamikaze.
Yeah. Abracadabra. That one?
No, Kamikaze.
Oh, maybe a different one. Well, I remember that one that was on the radio recently, and I remember thinking, like, bro, like, this fool's washed up. Like, he doesn't even...
Like, he's not even rapping.
Like, maybe, like, his, like, deal or whatever he has, like, to put music out, like, he has to put radio music out, like, you know? But that song that was on the radio where he's, like, it's, like, not even creative. It's, like, he's, like, abracadabra, just like that, I'm back, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, all of a sudden...
That's like a TikTok song, like...
Yeah, like, all of a sudden Eminem says, bruh. I'm like, what the fuck? And then, but it wasn't even that, right? Like, so growing up, right, like, obviously, like, I was a huge fan of him, like, blew up when I was like 12, 13 years old. I dyed my hair blonde. I might be repeating myself. You know, he was all about, fuck the system. Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember him hating fucking the president, like talking shit about Bush. Like
he would say like hella like controversial shit, like trying to relate to other races.
And then now this go around, he became a cuck for Kamala, white cuck for Kamala. Yeah, now he's all about supporting Biden and getting your COVID vaccine. They definitely got Diddy tapes on fucking Eminem.
Fuck yeah.
It's only a matter of time. National treasures. Shout out my man of the year are fucking Donald Trump, Ouija man, fucking 50 Cent, because we know he ain't connected to Jay-Z. I think 50 Cent could fucking stand on business on that. I mean, he's been roasted. You know what I mean? He was living like he was having field day. He 50 been fucking roasting Jay-Z and all of them for years on that shit. You go back, people be posting all those clips.
Yeah.
Where it's like we should have known. Like 50 was right this whole time. Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there was hella clips and there was one part he's like, oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Like I said, this might be on my last episode alive. This might be the last episode of The World is Alive. Fucking every time you turn on the news, Russia's gonna bomb us. We got UFOs.
We got
coming.
Ukraine, Iranians at war.
Yeah, the Jews are always fucking shit up, whether it's the weather or some kind of war. Speaking of tunnels, I'll be reporting live from Mexico in the Miami game. Ray,
Yeah, watch that one.
do you have a prediction? You got anything? What do you like? You know what I mean? Like 2024 for the 49ers is again. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, so we'll have some more NFL shit to talk about and 49ers shit to talk about. But how was your 2024, regardless of what the 49ers were able to put down on?
I think we win it.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Like I said in the beginning of the cast, man, Niners are now a dangerous team.
Yeah.
You know, they have nothing to lose. Some of these teams are playing for a wild card, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe they're not. You know, win for us ain't gonna affect, you know, nothing for us, but it might affect another team. You know.
You know what I'm thinking about Miami though?
Miami might need. Yeah, Miami sucks. They don't need to lose for anybody to advance. They're
yeah, they suck, right? Like they're not that good this year. McDonald's being an offshoot of Shanahan. We've seen Shanahan's system not have that much success. But what I was gonna say, where fucking it's already there for Shanahan to get embarrassed by another one of his former employees
proteges. Yeah.
And that's probably the only thing Mike Daniels coming to the table for is to be like, all right, I'm gonna rub it in this dude's face, because I think in that just this past year during this offseason they released that podcast. It was called like the Play Callers podcast. Shanahan was on it, Saleh, McDaniels. McDaniels kind of said some shit where he was like, he felt like Kyle was holding him back.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to be one of those, just like McVay, bro. I feel like McDaniels is going to play Ant really hard. You know what
Try
I mean?
to run it up. He might, but like I said, the players now are just playing to play. They don't got nothing to lose. They're just.
Some of them are playing for their contracts with the team too. So there is a lot. Like as 49er fans, there's a lot.
Dude,
as 49er fans, there's a lot for them to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like and there's a lot for us to keep our fingers crossed for in terms of nobody getting hurt, you know, and then if there's any threat towards Greenlaw getting hurt again, just fucking shut him down. He doesn't need to develop. He came off the bench after not playing for almost a year and had the best game a linebackers had. I think I've seen since they said that fucking he had 8 or 9 tackles in the first half, which DeAndre Campbell never had in his whole career or some shit like that. So it's like, you know, Drake Greenlaw doesn't need to develop. If his career's injury is in jeopardy, it's time to fucking bench him, you know? Not bench him, like negatively, but shut him down. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to look forward to, but yeah, that's it. 2024, it's a wrap. This is the official end of 2024. Cortez, final words?
You know what I want to touch on real quick, bro?
That's his butt.
Nah, you know what? we might get another 30 minutes on this topic.
What is it?
You know what I'm saying?
What is it?
None, just because Cortez is ready.
That's it. This is our New Year's Eve episode, bro. What are you talking about? You have to end it with it like a bang. Say something funny.
Do a cartwheel naked.
Oh wait, no, we got 2 more questions. We got 2 more questions. Let's end it with those 2 questions, and then we'll get out of here.
Cartwheel naked. How much you giving me?
I ain't giving you shit, dude.
So you're not gonna give me that fat tip?
I'm not gonna.
This fool's been practicing cartwheel naked his whole life, just waiting for this moment. He's like, we're gonna profit so much money off this.
That's what that C stands for. Cartwheel.
Number 9 and 10.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it stands for.
Read the question.
Why are you studying?
Read the questions.
What you laughing
I'm
at?
not.
No, what you stickering at them?
I'm not even laughing.
You too.
Question.
How
many dicks have I? No, I'm just kidding. Bill Walsh's famous West Coast offense was originally designed for what reason?
Quick passing, and yards after the catch.
You know,
Way off.
Yeah. It had something to do with passing, though. For sure it did.
I'm pretty sure.
But it's not like
West Coast offense.
quit passing. It's something that like Ray likes to do a lot. Something deep.
You seem like a very generalized. What was it again? It was famous for what?
Bill Walsh's famous West Coast offense was originally designed for what reason?
Who's Wallace?
Wallace?
Walsh? I don't fucking know.
Bill Wallace.
How do you spell
It's Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh?
Yeah. Not from America's Most Wanted. Bill Walsh.
Is that why you're laughing?
Bill Wallace?
You're
Who
that
the
shit.
fuck is Bill Walsh?
He said it like 4 or 5
Yeah,
different. All right.
All right, so fucking throwing the ball
He's
deep.
the 49ers fucking most famous head coach. You can read about him when you get home.
Walsh?
But yeah, so what was it
Walsh.
designed for? What was the West Coast offense designed for?
The deep ball, he just said.
I thought it was designed for a.
Throwing the ball deep.
I
No.
thought it was run.
Yeah, he created it.
Run first.
No.
No. What does the answer say?
He said he created it out of necessity when his quarterback couldn't throw. I don't. Fuck. You don't even give an answer.
Created it out of necessity when his quarterback couldn't throw. That's just the answer.
Yeah.
Yes, that's something that I would like now.
Bullshit.
I would have to go into that then because it is. So like what? So his
So
quarterback.
what's
couldn't
West
throw.
Coast offense?
So
Let
who
me
was his
see.
quarterback? He's gonna see the answer at number 10 now.
Nah, you
Fucking
looked at my porn.
Did you see the answer at number 10?
I didn't even look at his phone.
Oh, okay.
Damn, what did you see?
I didn't see shit, bro.
No, that's because it's so generalized. Like what he's
Yeah.
saying, all it is saying that because his quarterback couldn't throw.
So then why was he talking about the deep ball?
Yeah, why'd you say
I don't
something?
fucking know.
He's thinking about deep balls. We need a better engine.
We do got a girl.
All right, number 10.
Which 49ers players caused the game delay by throwing a snowball at the referee in 1985 game?
Jerry Rice.
No.
Nah. It was a safety.
Who's the safety? Roger Craig. I mean, Ronnie Lott.
Bert
Yeah.
Hanks.
It was Ronnie Lott. After you said safety, I knew it was Ronnie Lott. Yeah, that was too easy. All right, that's it. 2024 is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Long live the 49ers in memory of O.J. Simpson. I don't know who else died this year. We did this last year. We were always ill-prepared. Epstein, I think it was last year.
He died?
I don't think he died this year. Kobe, that was a while ago too, right?
World Healthcare CEO.
Brian Thomas, Thomas Matthew Cooks. Fuck you. Okay, fuck the Raiders as always. Fuck the Cowboys. It's bang bang Niner gang to the day we die. Ray, who got it better than us?
Nobody. Red and gold till we're dead and cold. Ray J. Garcia.
Kyle J. Vigil.
And Cortez done paid into.
As always.
2024.
2025 will be our year. Maybe not for the 49ers, but for us. You guys are going to see a whole new look. Not when I come back. I'm going to come back
And red.
and broke. So I'll see you all then.
He might have a different alias when he comes back.
I might be Hose B, not Jose.